Hi everyone, my name is Wave. Welcome back to my channel. This video is all about keyboard controllers and specifically those that you can bring with you on stage and perform with. And I'm talking here about Keytars. The postman came earlier this week and brought me this guy. I don't know if you see the box here. The Alesis Vortex Wireless 2. It's a brand new model from Alesis. Well, brand new. It was announced back in January at the Winter NAMM in Anaheim, California. And the fact that it's wireless, the fact that it has so many features got me really into it. And as I'm about to perform a very important gig in the next few days, I had to order one for myself and see how it looks like, how you can play with it, and how it integrates with the things I want to do when performing on stage. And so I ordered it, and here it is. And let's have a look at the box, because actually these are the main features. So you know, I will show you the unit itself after that. First of all, 37 keys, a 37 keys keypad, which isn't bad at all, but very compact, so that makes sense for a keytar, because 4 octave would have been better, but it's not always practical to bring with you on stage. You see what I mean? So 37 keys is not ideal, but it's nice actually. You will see later on when checking out the unit itself why it's cool to have only 37 keys. But the coolest part of this is that they feature aftertouch, which is for this kind of keyboard at this price tag, which is approximately $250, euros, whatever. It's a great deal actually, just for the fact that it's a monophonic aftertouch, just like on any controller keyboard of that price tag, and it's really cool. On top of that, you get 8 RGB backlit velocity sensitive pads, and they are here. You can see them back here, over there. You see, they all have, well, customizable colors and everything, but don't forget that they're not pressure sensitive, but only velocity sensitive. So that makes a difference. Well, does that really make a difference on a keytar of that kind? I don't think so, because yeah, actually you have a aftertouch on the keypad, so I cannot see a point in having pressure sensitive pads on top of that. But just 8 of them makes it pointless. Backlit faders for controlling volumes or other instrument parameters, and everything here on this here, you see they are customizable. So everything on here is customizable, plus you have here a preset. But I will show you the unit in a second, you will see. But I would like to get the features straight, so you know what to expect. On top of that, there is something really cool that I got to test the last few weeks with this keyboard. That's the tilt controller, and you will see later on. But it's basically a gyroscope inside the unit that will let you just control a specific controller number by moving the height of your keytar. So it's great. We have a thumb controlled volume slider and reversible pitch bend wheel on neck. And thing is, when you have those controls on the neck, it makes a universe of difference, especially when performing live. So you will see later on. Plus you get the USB dongle, because that thing is wireless, so it works on batteries, and on top of that you can use, yeah, well, a USB. It's well placed too on the unit itself, and I will show you in a minute. It's a great addition, it's a great feature. So you get USB and Midi jacks, you get Midi as well, for use with any synth. It's compatible with PC and Mac, that speaks for itself. battery powered for use with MIDI modules, so you can use batteries and still use the MIDI and everything, which is cool. The batteries are not included, but they are standard, pretty much standard AA batteries, so you can find them anywhere. And at this price at like 250 euros for a keyboard with aftertouch, you're not going to complain about the fact that the batteries are not included anyway. You get a standard guitar strap and the pegs that come on the unit itself. But you get a strap, and they are so well placed that you can use guitar straps of your own if you have those, and I will show you in a minute too. Anything else I could? Yeah, so everything is customizable. All the MIDI controls are customizable, but there are a few shortcomings that I'm gonna talk about in a minute. And of course you get a big bunch of software apps such as Hybrid 3, Loom 2, Expand 2, Vacuum Pro if you would need something like guitar amplifier emulation. And then you get Time War 2600, which is an emulation of the ARP 2600 synthesizer. It's a great addition for this kind of keyboard, especially at this price. It's a full license we are talking about, so keep that in mind. Plus a copy of Ableton Live Lite, obviously. This is pretty much it. So I will show you the unit now because it's really cool to use. As you can see, I'm already using my own guitar strap, and it's really cool because the way the pegs are put, and that makes a big difference. You can use this kind of strap because it's one that gets locked, you know. You can really lock it to the pegs and thus the unit itself, and only for this I think that's already well done. You see what I mean? On top of that, I like the piano black finish on this one, because it doesn't seem to it seems to resist to scratches as well. Well, I've had it for a few weeks, and actually it's not bad at all. So let's stand up. It's probably better, so you can see it in a better way too. You see, that's a cool thing about the straps here, and that makes a world of difference between this and, for example, the AX series from Roland, which I used before, and that were really impractical for that purpose, because the AX09, for example, was not fully compatible with this kind of guitar strap, and that was a big handicap. No surprise that Roland stopped manufacturing those keyboards. So it's just a controller keyboard here. You have to keep that in mind. You have no internal sounds, nothing. But it's cool. Actually, it's all you need, because everyone uses a laptop or something like that, or a module, you know, on the side, something when performing live. So 37 keys keypad here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 MIDI controllers here. On the side you have the pads. I repeat, they're not pressure sensitive, so they're velocity sensitive, but not pressure sensitive, like the pads you can find on MPC units or Machina or Push, for example. So that makes a difference, but that's not really a big deal on this kind of keyboard. So you have the preset browser here, and just a plus minus thing. We were talking about the neck, so here it is, and this is, I think, the biggest surprise to me is that everything here on this neck is placed so well that it should be a school case for all manufacturers of this kind of keyboard, you know. So to begin with the side of the neck here, you got this, which you can configure, customize to CC11, which is expression, and that we use for the main volume. But you can alternatively choose CC7, for example. Here you got the pitch wheel, which is conveniently placed. Really cool to use. It's a bit lazy, but for this kind of instrument that makes sense, because you like this kind of laziness when playing guitar sounds and everything like this. On top of that, here on the neck you have well, start with this, and this is a very good addition, a sustain button. So you just push it and you have like a sustain pedal, but just at your fingertips. Plus you have here the ribbon controller. That's a very cool thing to have it, you know, controlling CC1 or mod wheel or anything, because it's customizable. But instead of the pitch wheel, because I remember on the AX09 from Roland, you have this controlling the pitch wheel plus a pressure sensitive button here controlling CC1, and that was really unpractical, I can tell. So having the pitch bend here plus this ribbon controller that I can customize, it's a very good addition. Octave up down, well, it's really smart to put them here because you can still use the right hand and then start playing here. I forgot to mention here the ribbon bangs on the side, so that means that you can choose 3 control numbers by patch here. So you have program numbers that you can customize, all of them, and by per patch you can just have 3 different ribbon controller numbers. So that's cool. You have 3 keyboard zone positions, which are the split and lower and upper. This is my big disappointment with this unit, and that's something you should keep in mind. You cannot browse through the MIDI channels. So you have, like, you can customize everything with the software, which proved to be very impractical. But I will probably keep that on the side and say that, wow, at this price tag, you cannot expect, you cannot expect everything to be perfect. The software that comes with it to customize the keyboards and CC numbers and everything is, it's not very good, to be honest. But at least you can customize the control numbers, and that's all you need. But keep in mind, you have only access to 2 MIDI channels on the keyboard itself when performing, but you have access to everything else. So different program numbers with a plus minus button, it's okay, it's not a big deal. So anything else? Yes, the tilt here, the tilt button, you can see it's very convenient because you can really, so by when playing, you can choose to activate, well, enable or disable this tilt function, and then when you move the height of the keyboard, it will just trigger a CC number of your choice. So it's really convenient, and that's why I have this good guitar strap locked to the pegs of my keyboard here, because it makes sense. Yes, overall, I mean, what else is there to say about this one? It's just perfect, the keyboard itself, the hardware side is perfect. The software sides is begging for improvement, because I think it could have been done in a very better way. But I see one last thing I need to mention here, and I don't know if you're gonna see it here, but you have those 2 compartments. I guess you see them now here. I'm gonna show you what's inside. Actually, on the right side, you can put your batteries. Don't forget they are not included, but they are standard AA batteries, and they last long. So don't worry about that. Just get a set of batteries, of spare batteries with you when you go to perform, and it's gonna be okay. On the left side, actually it was empty, but it's a perfect compartment to put this inside, which is the wireless dongle. So that thing, on top of boasting aftertouch, MIDI controllers aplenty, customizable ones. The tilt controller, it works wirelessly. What's not to love about this keyboard? It's really really cool. So I'm using this left side as a compartment for this one. Speaking of the wireless dongle, don't expect miracles about the wireless range of this unit. You have to keep in mind that most gigs will be full of other devices, wireless devices, interfering with the frequency of this unit, because we are talking about radio frequencies anyway. And don't be surprised that you have a limited range. In my own experience with wireless on the MacBook Pro and everything, when performing, well, when rehearsing here, I got a few bad surprises when going like up to 3-4 meters. So don't expect miracles. Keep the range limited to like 2 meters away from the source, and you will be fine. In any case, if I can suggest you something, every single time you have to perform with this kind of keyboard, just get a long USB cable with it. Yeah. So here is where you connect everything, because yeah, it's wireless, but, and you see it's on the side, so it's very convenient. You have here this thing here to use the battery or USB, and the MIDI port here. So it's really convenient. So get a long cable with you when performing on top of the wireless dongle. You never know. This is it. So for a mere $249 euros, or even less on local stores, you can check on Tolman, for example, here in Europe, or your best friend in the US and anywhere else. It's a big surprise from Alesis. I had never expected anything like this from Alesis, and actually I'm not getting any money for saying that. It's just that when I'm enthusiastic about a product, a specific product like this one, I just need to share it with you guys. So this is it for this video. Catch me if you can on the 20th of July with this bad boy on stage on YouTube between 6 and 7 p.m. CET, Central European. So it's gonna be 5 p.m. in the UK and probably earlier. And New York is gonna be like noon and 9 a.m. in Los Angeles. So this is it. Talk to you later in a future video.